Hi guys, all right, we are going to read chapter 3, which is Coming to America in Of Beetles and Angels. Right. My parents couldn't just snap their fingers and conjure up a transatlantic jetliner. They needed help, so they contacted World Relief, a US-based Christian organization that located refugees and helped them resettle in the United States. Millions of my people had become refugees during the 30-year bloodbath between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Most had fled to Sudan. Seeing their plight, World Relief had mediated an agreement between the United States and Sudan to resettle some of the refugees. As part of this resettling process, World Relief would have to identify American sponsors who would find the refugees housing, furniture, jobs, medical treatment, and schools. Everything they would need to get on their feet. But before a family could qualify for resettlement, it had to pass the infamous tests. No one knew which answers were right and which were wrong. Why do you want to go to America? What will you do when you get there? Do you want to come back to your country someday? Do you plan to work in America? Many clever interviewees had failed despite giving the same answers as those who passed. Others had passed after giving the same answers of those who had failed. My family hadn't even gotten to the interview room when my father's booming voice stopped the rest of us in our tracks. Don't any of you say a word, or I will make you lost. Let me do all the talking. Apparently, he told the officials what they wanted to hear. And they told us what we wanted to hear. You are going to America, to a city called Chicago. We would have left the States in 1982. We had already passed the infamous immigration tests, sold our 6 goats, and begun to say goodbye to our fellow villagers. But in the final days, right before we were to leave our village forever, my half-sister Malou came from another region of Sudan, surprising us. Although we were scheduled to depart in a matter of days, my father and mother refused to leave without her. They begged the immigration officials. You have children, don't you? Would you go to America and leave your daughter alone in this refugee camp? Look, they told us. World Relief is agreed to work with a family of 5, not a family of 6. They agreed to bring you now, not later, and it's impossible for her to come with you now. She has no paperwork. But my parents refused to leave. Returning day after day, sometimes 3 times a day, my father wore down the officials until they finally caved in. She could come if we waited 1 year. We waited, the year passed, and in 1983, the 6 of us started on our way. My father, Halab, in his late 40s, my mother, Sieg, in her mid-20s, my half-sister, Malou, in her late teens, my older brother, Twald, 9, and my younger sister, Merritt, 5, and me, Selamawi, almost 7 years old. Our friends gathered around to bid us farewell, and a truck rumbled towards us. It was a lorry, one of those mammoth vehicles that looked like an African elephant. Its gaping back entrance beckoned us, giving us advice. Oh, that we could have heard it. Come on in. Come if you dare. Make your choice carefully, for once you enter, you cannot return. Turn and look at your friends, and know that they are your true family. For friends and even enemies become family when you live in exile. Look at them and know that you will never see them again. Wave goodbye to H. Go hug him. Believe it or not, you will miss even the bullies and the cruel math teachers. For even the most horrifying memories are you. They are yours and no one else's. And they, along with the good memories, are your life. You know America through stories. You know it to be paradise. But beware. Rumors are malignant tumors. Snakes lurk even in paradise. And the advice of mothers does not always ward off evil. Look back too. You have survived many dangers. Famine, diseases, wars, despair, homesickness, and more. Who knows what your future will bring? We entered the lorry slowly. Behind us, our village waved, both happy and terrified for us, and for themselves too. We waved goodbye, and the lorry rumbled off, a bloated country taxi, jam-packed with hopeful innocents. We made our way through the Sudanese wilderness, up and down the hills, to Jerdif. We spent several months in Jerdif, then a week in the capital city, Khartoum. Then we entered the plane and took off from Khartoum. Next stop, Athens. Then America. And there, a new life.